Hello YouTube, you know who it is. CJ7. It's time for some reviews and unboxing.
What's up YouTube, CJ7 here. Got another unboxing review video. Alright, so what we have here today is the Melife Inspiration i3 Gyro Action Cam. Wow, that's a lot to say. Anyhow, it's a 4K ultra high definition tiny camera. It's got 4K at 24 frames per second. Stabilization with built-in gyro. It's got 2.4 wireless remote control as well as a Wi-Fi app. So let's get into it. Got this little double box shell thing. Oh, check this out. We got a watch that I can't take out that controls the camera. That was pretty cool. So these have LEDs on the bottom that light up according to your presses. Alright, so this is your video camera power. We'll take a look at that later. Let's see, camera. Alright, so it's in this camera mount that I already modified, because if I put this on my drone, it hangs like this, right? No problem. Well, it is a problem, because I need the camera to be this way, and there were no holes here. So I drilled these holes up top, so that way I can press the buttons when I had it on. But I forgot that I had the remote watch, which I could control it, but I still like to be able to hit the buttons. So it's only got 3 buttons on it. You got your power button and your picture camera button, Wi-Fi button, batteries down in here. Actually, I've never opened this. Yeah, check that out. See what kind of battery we have in here. It's my first time taking a look at it. 3.7 1,000 milliamp hour battery. So this is probably good for at least an hour and a half of battery, video, recording, pictures, all that good stuff. Let's open this up. And here, SD card goes in there. You got your HDMI out and your USB port. Connect to laptop. And let's turn it on. It turns on pretty quick. You hit the power button and it didn't work. Let's try again. Power button. There we go. Melife. So now to navigate through the menu, power button is your navigation. Your Wi-Fi button on the front is how you scroll. So that's how you scroll through everything. So we got resolution. We're going to hit the orange button as confirmation, and we can take a look at all the resolutions we have. So we got 4K at 24 frames per second, 2.5 at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60, 1080p at 30, 720 at 120 frames per second, 720 at 60, and we got 1440p at 30 frames per second. For me, natively, I shoot in 1080p at 60. You just hit the orange button to confirm again. So we got loop recording, time-lapse recording. Loop recording, what's going to happen is if you run out of space, it's going to overwrite the first file and keep recording. So you want to watch and see if you have that active or not. Slow motion, it shoots. Haven't tried it out. Gyro, this is your stabilization. I have it on, so that way my videos don't come out as shaky, which you'll take a look. I got some side-by-side comparisons for you guys to look at. Exposure, you can make some adjustments there, going -2, +2. So you got a decent range there. White balance, auto, daylight, cloudy, Tuscan, and fluorescent. Mine is on auto right now. Color, you can do normal, black, white, Thea, dive mode. I haven't tried any of those yet, only because of my overcast conditions. I don't really need them. Metering, average, center, or spot. Don't know what that is. Not a lot of explanation in the manual about that. Sharpness, you have 3 settings on there, low, standard, and strong. It's going to give you more of a clear or blurry effect in your picture video. Saturation, how high you want it. Do you want those warm looking pictures? You want the cool looking pictures? That's what that setting's for. Record audio, you can turn that on and off if you only want video in your timestamps. And that's pretty much it as far as the buttons and the function of the camera. So it's got a 170-degree angle as far as view. You hit this and turn the Wi-Fi on. This lights up when it's on. So Wi-Fi is on, so I could use the app or I can use the watch and be able to control this thing. It's got a nice touch to it. It's definitely a different size than your standard SJ cam and clones and GoPro cams. It's actually a little bigger if I'm not mistaken when I did a comparison, because it won't fit in any of the accessories for a SJ cam or for a GoPro for that matter, so don't expect to be able to use this with anything else that you might have. Also, we already know the hardware that's in here not really capable of doing 4K. That's why I don't shoot it in the 4K. You know, it's best in its native, which is 1080p. It upscales video, so that's how you get your 4K. A lot of these manufacturers, you know, they broadcast 4K, 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 4K. Why? Because that's the direction everything's headed. So everybody wants 4K. So if you buy this camera expecting to get actual quote-unquote 4K, it's not going to happen, love, because it's not 4K capable based on the hardware that's in it. Oh my gosh. So leave it in 1080p and shoot what you're going to shoot. Alright, CJ7, let's take a look at some of this video comparison. Alright, I should probably touch on accessories in the box. That's a good idea though, right? So you got your warranty card, USB cable, you guys know what that is, mounted onto a bike. You got your different clips. That's all that is. You got double-sided tape to mount it, and then you get these guys, little stickers. That's nice. Share the different life. Look at that. You get a gray one so you can share a different life. You get the beach shot to share a different life, and then you get this one too, so you can share a different life any kind of way you want. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't come with a lot, which is expected. They do have another model. This is the i3. The i3 Plus, if you get this camera, that's the one you want. i3 Plus does actual 4K video. This one just upscales. But it does have stabilization in it, so that's the winning point for me. Good factor. So we're going to check out these videos. Ready? Let's go.
Alright, so we're going to test out the 4K at 24 frames per second with the gyro on and gyro off, which is image stabilization. I chose to take a walk through the office because I'm in a controlled setting, but I have a lot of light variation. So I wanted to be able to pick up light transition opposed to being outside where that could vary if I had clouds and such coming in or any type of overcast. So being in the office gives me an ability to pretty much control my settings for lighting. As you can see with the gyro on, you get a lot stable image output than you would with it having it off, especially if you're doing walking. In any type of action cam, you want to have stable output only because the camera does bounce around a little bit. So the more stable you can get a video, the better the output's going to be. I'm also going to take a look at the 1080p 60 frames per second. Same thing, gyro on and gyro off, just to see the variation. For me, this is my go-to setting. It gives you the best output in my eyes, especially from cameras that are not really 4K cameras where it's kind of upscaled. So this camera, the hardware that's in it, is more than capable of doing 1080 at 60 frames per second with no problem, no hiccups or anything like that. But you can see how smooth it is. It picks up the light transition, doesn't really break up. So if you do a lot of drone flying, like that's what I use the camera for, it works out perfect, which you'll see in my second video that I have posted, some action from this cam on the same settings.
Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and hey, stay tuned for some more content, cause it's coming. You know who it is? CJ7.